I always loved the sound of that ever since I graduated. So yeah, I was Scientea's representative at RSA in the speaking sections. I did two presentations. One with Sander Vinberg from F5 Labs, based on some research we published earlier this year of the title that you see on the screen, the evolution of CVEs. I don't think we had the second part in the actual report. Sander tacked that on because it was a vendor talk. And then I'll talk about my second talk when I get to my second talk. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing, obviously, because that'd be way too much. But I just wanted to talk about a couple points. This talk mostly focused on like how CVEs have evolved over the last 20 years of the existence of CVEs as a real thing with NVD. David, you want to pop the next slide forward? The main point of that is like, we see these big changes. We've seen like lots of increase in CVEs over the last 20 years. Some of those changes are due to the process, and some of them are due to actual like increases. So on this chart, we just show kind of in particular that 2017 bump was really like, oh, the CNA process started, and so we got a lot more CVEs out there. And I think my favorite chart, I just picked one more if David wants to go to the next one, was this idea that, oh man, I had a build out there. Move on to the next one. Was this like trying to capture all of OWASP over the last 20 years and how it's changed. And the fact that like language changes, trends change, and it's really hard to pick apart like what's real and what's just different in the way we talk about things and the way we define terms. So this is kind of a fun one. We looked at like what the top 10 was for OWASP over the last 6 iterations, and like how things have kind of jumped around and recombined. And so this was just really like a super fun talk. Go read the report, and I'm happy to answer questions and talk about it later. I think there's a recording online too if you want to watch it.
And Ben, just real quick, this is probably one of my most favorite visuals from that whole report, because, you know, usually we create these and we call them a worm chart, but usually they're more flowing. And you had this problem where like broken access control, the second one on the left, dropped in 2007 and then came back in 2017. And I think they had a slightly different name or something, but so I was trying to get all that linked up. So you did this dash line, and I think it was just brilliant. And so this, I mean, just looking at it, looks a little bit spaghetti-ish, but I really like the flow of it. And I really like this visual.
That was totally the point, is like, we want to get across, like, you should be able to like pick your favorite OWASP category and kind of follow it across. But we also want to get across that, holy crap, this is a mess, right? Like, it's not just like these categories kind of like shift around a little bit. It's like they come and go, they get combined and separated, and it's all just kind of all over the place. And I'm sure like we also did some like cleaning up of the categories and naming them to what we thought they should be to be consistent across years. So I'm sure somebody wants to yell at us about what we renamed something.
Yeah, that's good.
There's always somebody who wants to yell at us for something.
Yeah.
That's okay. We're used to it. Well, thank you, Ben. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you again in just a few minutes. Okay.